Afternoon everyone. Welcome to BYJU'S exam prep. My name is Naveen and today I will be taking you through the concept and questions on ratios for MAHCET. So a very warm welcome to all of you. Good afternoon Chetan. Standman exam is going to be most probably on 25th and 26th of March. So it has been delayed by 1 week. That's it. As far as we know, the official notification has not been out yet. The editing and the online registration has extended until 11th, right? Not the online registration, but editing of it. 11th of March tak aap kar sakte ho until tomorrow. The exam date has extended by a week as of now. Okay. Officially, it will be there on the website of MAHCET. You can go and check there. Yeah. Good afternoon, Shruti, Kajal, Gaurav. Informative. Good afternoon. Right, informative. 25th, 26th March. So, how do we solve questions like these? If A is to B is to C is given as a ratio and then you are asked fraction wise what are the ratios? So, please remember that when it comes to ratios, what you need to do is the first proportion is, since there are 6 values here, right? A, B, C are 3 variables and 2, 3, 4 are 3 values. So, there are 6 things written over here. So the first is going to be same as first on the left hand side and right hand side they are going to be the same. So A को 2 मानेंगे, B को 3 मानेंगे and C को 4 मानेंगे. Okay. So all you have to do is put it here. A is 2, B is 3, B is 3, sorry this is ratio, C is 4 and then C is 4 and A is 2. Right. Now you can take the LCM, get rid of the denominator and see how the numerators change. So the LCM will be 12, right? The LCM of 3 and 4 is 12. So that means you need to make it 8 and this will get multiplied. So 9 and this will get multiplied by 4. So this is, this is going to get multiplied by 6. So this will result in 24. Right? Yeah, C is the answer. Good, good. Now, if the third proportion of 8 and P is 81 by 8, then find the number of factors of P. Third proportion of 8 and P is 81 by 8. Then what will be the number of factors of P? So, right Arjun. Now Vivek, we are just doing the second question. So what do you mean by the third proportion? See, if we say A and B and C, where C is the third proportion, right? It means A by B will be equal to B by C. So that C is the third proportion. इसको ऐसे भी समझ सकते हो आप, A is to B is proportional to B and C, where C is the third variable that you see in the sequence, right? B is there the second variable. If it's not the count, but it's the number of variables we have. So going by that logic, 8 and P ka third proportion is 81 by 8. So 8 is A, P is B, 81 by 8 is C. So we'll get 8 by P is equal to P divided by 81 upon 8. If you cross multiply, you will have 8 into 81 upon 8, that is equal to P into P, which is P square. Or you will be getting P square is equal to 81 or P is going to be 9. Now, if P is going to be 9, then the question is how many factors of P, as in other words, how many factors of 9 exist? So 9 के कितने factors होते हैं? एक होता है 1, एक होता है 3, एक होता है 9. 3 factors होते हैं? Right. Correct, correct. B will be the answer. Good, good, good. Next. Word problems on ratios. Marks of S and M are in the ratio 6:5 respectively. If S would have got 4 more marks and M would have got 5 marks less, then the ratio of the marks would have been 7:5. Find the actual marks obtained by M. So when you have word problems like these, if you write down the equations, it's going to be more time consuming. तो आप क्या करोगे? आप options use करते हो हमेशा. In almost all the questions, it's always faster. Okay. So if you talk about S and M and their actual marks, they are in the ratio of 6:5. And after the changes, right, post changes, the ratio is 7:5. And what changes happened? Srijita, she gets 4 more and Moni gets 5 less. This is what we are aware of. Now, starting with the options. If actual marks obtained by Moni is 55, so instead of 5, if this is 55, then instead of 6, this is going to be 66. 66 plus 4 is 70. 55 minus 5 is 50. Is 70 and 50 in the ratio of 7:5? Yes, it is. Tick karo, aage badho. ठीक है? Because we will have values, so it's going to be easier to actually calculate and analyze what is happening. Yeah, Trange. Fine? Clear? Was easier, right? Worst case, the fifth option will be the answer, but still you will make less mistake. I wouldn't say that you're going to take less time because it depends how quick you are with equations, but definitely chances of making a mistake here using the options will be much lesser. Okay? Another word problem. The ratio of the sums invested by A, B and C is 3, 2 and 5. As in A, B and C, they invested 3 rupees, 2 rupees, 5 rupees, or let's say 300, 200, 500. It could be anything, right? 3x, 2x, 5x. And if the ratio of the profits received by them is 9, 8 and 5, then the ratio of the time for which they invested the respective sums would be. So this is using the logic that profit is calculated as, actually profit sharing is calculated as the product of the investment made and the duration. है ना? ठीक है. So if you talk about A, B and C, तो इनका investment 3, 2, 5 है. इनका profit 9, 8, 5 है. So what do you think its duration should be so that their product is equal to profit? आराम से एक एक कॉलम देखो. 3 into what will result in 9? 3. 2 into what will result in 8? 4. इतना काफी है ऑप्शन सेलेक्ट करने के लिए, or should we solve entire? None of these is generally not the the options, right? Not the correct option. 5 into 1 is 5. So the duration ratio is 3, 4 and 1. Right. B. ठीक है ऋषिकेश, फिर से बढ़ा लूंगा दाढ़ी, सर के बाल तो नहीं बढ़ेंगे, सर पे बाल ही कम है. Okay. Next one. In a class test, the ratio of the marks obtained by Vinay and Chetan is 5:7 and the marks obtained by Vinay and Shubham is 8:5. If the sum of the marks obtained by all three of them is 726, then find the marks obtained by Chetan. Right? So, how quick can we with this? तो देखो करना क्या होता है कि look where Chetan is. Vinay and Chetan is 5:7. So Vinay and Chetan 5 and 7. इतना पढ़ो बस. If Chetan has 7 marks that we see, it's not the actual marks, right? It could be anything more than 7. It is definitely more than 7. But can we from here definitely say कि Chetan का marks जो होगा, it will be a number in the table of 7? And Vinay Chetan is given and Vinay Shubham is given. We will be able to calculate the ratio of all three and then add them and see 726. Kitna times करेंगे 726 you will be getting, right? So looking at the first ratio itself, aren't we pretty sure that Chetan marks should be in the table of 7? अब option पे जाओ सीधे. Chetan का mark 7 के table में कौन सा है? 347 के table में आता है? 350 आता है, 340 तो नहीं होगा। 216, 210 तो होता है, 217 हो सकता है, 216 won't happen. 240, 210 plus 30, no. Cannot be determined तो होगा नहीं. You're left with only one option, 336, and it has to be in the table of 7, right? Compulsory है. 336 is 350 minus 14. 350 is in the table of 7. 14 is in the table of 7. So the difference will be in the table of 7. एक ही option है. Now, could we have used the same logic in the previous question? Yes, we could have. But question number 3. But the thing was, when the question asked us about the marks of Moni, and Moni mark was 5 here, and we know that it will be in the table of 5. Unfortunately, all the options were in the table of 5, so it wasn't helping us then. पर ये जो logic है कि ratio से ही you can figure out that the final answer will be in the table of certain number, that is very easy, right? And it's easier if there is only one option which exists. If you had more than one, तो फिर अब तो solve करना पड़ जाता, ठीक है? Right, D will be the answer, right? So ratios is actually a very, it's not an easy topic. It's vast, a little vast, because there are a lot of topics involved. You've got averages, mixtures and alligation, and then you have got mean, median, mode aata hai usme, right? But in MHCT, you won't be given mode or median. Then you have got ratios and profit sharing. ये सारे चीजें ratios के अंदर आते हैं. So काफी कुछ है. But the solution or the approach to solving questions on ratios, they are pretty easy. Number जो दिख रहा होता है वो assume कर लो and later on extrapolate. ठीक है? Let's look at the next question. A, B and C have amounts in the ratio 357. मान लो 3 rupees, 5 rupees, 7 rupees, 300, 500, 700, कुछ भी. First, B gives 1/5 of his amount to A and 1/5 of his amount to C, and then C gives 1/4 of his amount to A. What is the respective ratio of the final amounts with A, B and C, right? So A, B and C का हमें ये चाहिए, ठीक है? देखो ऑप्शन से भी हो जाता बहुत आसानी से, ठीक है? But the thing is, we have 3 options which are alike, तो ये एक issue है. So B has 5, A has 3, and C has 7. First, B gives 1/5 of his amount to A. So 1/5 of 5 is 1. So B 1 इधर दे देता है. And 1/5 of his amount to C. So 1/5 of 5 will be another 1. तो वो C को दे देता है. Right? So B is now left with 3, A is left with 4, and C is left with 8. These are the values we have. Right? Next it says C gives 1/4 of his amount to A. C gives 1/4. 1/4 of 8 is going to be 2. Right? He gives 2 to A. So A का 6 हो जाएगा. B will remain 3 and C will become 6. So what is the ratio of the amounts with each 3 of them? इसको simplify करोगे, you will realize it's going to be 2, 1 and 2. Right? Okay. Yeah, B will be answer. What was the alternate approach? Think about this. There are 3 people. They are giving amounts among them. I mean, they are distributing amounts, whatever they have with them, among themselves. आपस में. So can I say the total money will remain same? So total money था कितना? 15. So can I say finally the total money should remain 15? Not 15 necessarily. तो उनका sum जो होगा वो 15 का fraction में होगा. As in it will be a factor of 15. So if you add all the values in the first option, it is 5. 5 का मतलब है कि actually this is a simplified ratio. 15 करने में this will become 3, 6 and 6. Common sense now. When B gives away money, 5 से 6 तो नहीं होगा. It won't make sense. The next one, 2 plus 1 plus 2, this is also 5. But it's not, shouldn't be 5, it should be 15, no, total money. So if I change this to 15, as in if I make it 3 times, the money with them, it will become 6, 3 and 6. This kind of makes sense. Please understand that we haven't solved this part. हम लोग के ऑप्शंस अगर चेक करें तो. So this might make sense. We will have to confirm it by solving whatever is given. Let's look at C option. 2 plus 2 plus 1. This is going to be 5. 5 तो हो नहीं सकता, 15 होना चाहिए. So if we triple it, we will have 6, 6 and 3. Again, B was having 5, and when B gives some money from its own pocket, B will not be left with 5 rupees. The money with him will reduce. तो 5 से कम होना चाहिए, पर अपन को 6 दिख रहा है. This will also not make sense. 2 plus 3 plus 4, this is 9, which is of course not a factor of 15. तो ये sense नहीं बनेगा, right? None of the above, like I said, shouldn't make sense. तो B आप मार करके जल्दी से आगे बढ़ सकते हो, ठीक है? So options are again helpful. Next, in a city, 70% population is literate, in which the ratio of the number of males to the number of females is 4:3, respectively. If the ratio of the number of illiterate males to the number of illiterate females is 3:2, respectively, then find the ratio of the number of literate males to the number of illiterate females. Right? So you can see that this question is only based on percentage and ratio, and percentage is nothing but ratio of two values, also known as fraction. So when everything is in terms of fractions or percentage, you can assume it to be any number. As in the total population base जो होता है, उसको आप कुछ भी ले सकते हो. आप variable ले सकते हो. You can take it as a number. So since we are dealing with percentages, it will be easier if we take them as 100 total population. So if the total population is 100, then out of those 100, 70 are literate. And of course, the remaining 30 will be illiterate, because दोनों में से कोई एक ही होगा, या तो लोग literate होंगे या illiterate होंगे, right? Now out of the 70, if we deal with male and female का ratio, it's in the ratio 4:3, यानी कि 40 and 30. And if you talk about illiterate में, the ratio of male and female, this is in the ratio 3:2. So I have to divide 30 in the ratio 3:2. So this is going to be 18 and 12. Question is, find the ratio of number of literate males, which is this 40, to the number of illiterate females, which is this 12. So 40 and 12 को simplify करना है, आपको 40:12 निकालना है. They both are divisible by 4. So this will result in 10, this will result in 3, so 10:3. Option A. Good. Jay, Atrangi, Yash. I know where you guys are stuck. So how 30 का 3:2 इतना जल्दी कैसे निकाल लिया? हम तो 3x plus 2x is equal to 30 लिखते हैं पहले, फिर x निकालते हैं, फिर वापस पुट करते हैं. I do the same thing, but I don't use a variable. Since I don't use the variable, I don't require equations and I don't have to solve anything. What is the total? 5. But what is the total given? 30. कितना times है? 6. सबको 6 times कर दो. Because if their sum is going to be 6 times, that means individual values are going to be 6 times. Right? So 3 into 6 will give you 18, and 2 into 6 will give you 12. Right? Another example for a quick practice. Suppose 90 has to be divided in the ratio of, let's say, 7:8. So 7 plus 8 करो पहले आप. 7 plus 8 is 15. पर उधर given 90 है. So how many times is that? 15 into how many times is 90? 6 times. तो आप इसको भी 6 times करो, इसको भी 6 times करो. ठीक है? प्रैक्टिस करोगे, it will hardly take you an hour and you will be very good with it. हाँ, multiplication table is something you need to be kind of okay or an average with it. नहीं तो otherwise you don't know 15 into how many times is 90. That's where you are going to get stuck. But anyways, even if you write equations 90 by 15 करोगे, उधर भी करना ही पड़ेगा solve. So basic table पता होना चाहिए up to 10. Next, the monthly salary received by Shubham and Chetan is in the ratio 2:5, respectively. Shubham saves 50% of his salary, while Chetan saves rupees 45,000. If the ratio of their monthly expenses is 1:4, find the sum of the monthly salaries of Shubham and Chetan. So Shubham and Chetan का monthly salary 2:5 है और हमें sum पूछा जा रहा है. So what is the sum? Sum looks like 7 rupees. So if their current salary that we see is 7, तो actual जो होगा 7 के टेबल में होगा. Tell me which option makes sense. There is supposed to be, there has to be, एक option केवल sense बनना चाहिए. Because this is MHCET. Had this been any other exam apart from MHCET or CMAT, तो एक साथ option click करते हैं. इधर एक ही होगा. We don't have to calculate that 45,000, 50% expenses 1:4. उसका कोई काम नहीं है. If you know that if the calculation is going to be long, और आप एक ratios का sum जो पूछ रहे हैं या फिर individual persons वो figure out कर लोगे, it's going to be very quick. Yeah, good afternoon, Ranvijay. Which number is in the table of 7? 325 7 के टेबल में कब से होने लगा? Guys, 7 into 4 is 28. Then you will be left with 45. 45 is not in the table of 7. क्या कर रहे हो? 28 is in the table of 7. 5 is not in the table of 7. I hope you guys know that zeros, they don't really matter. You have to only check 285, 315, 305, 295. ऐसे check करना होता है. 315, right? 315 will be 7 into 4 is 28. And then you are left with 3. So 3 and 5, 35. 35 is also in the table of 7. 28 is also. So B hoga 305. 28 plus 25, which is 305. When I say 28 and 25, I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. It's basically 280 and 25, right? So 280 is in the table of 7. 25 is not. So 305 bhi nahi hoga. 295 is 280 plus 15. 280 is, 15 is not. Same. 285 is 280 plus 5. 280 is, 5 is not. 315 can be written as 280 plus 35. So 280 is also, 385 is also. तो उसका sum भी होगा ही ना. So एक ही option है. We saved so much time. If we had started solving using equations, right? B will be the answer. Nishi, it's not A. Ritesh, not A. अजय, मेहर, 7 से डिवाइड करना था. Next one. Sarah keeps aside 25% of her monthly salary as petty cash. Petty cash मतलब change. ठीक है? And she divides the remaining salary into two funds, expenditure and investments, in the respective ratio of 2:1. She makes only two types of investments, PPFs and MFs, in respective ratio of 3:2. If the sum she keeps as petty cash is rupees 5,400 more than she invests in IMF, what is Sarah's monthly salary? Two ways. We can start with a value and solve it, or we can use options. ठीक है? Either of these will make sense. So I will prefer, see, the values are lengthy ones, right? And we will have large values that we need to break it down into 2:1 or further 3:2. So it will be more calculative. So एक काम करते हैं, अपन assume कर लेते हैं value. Ratio है ना? So I'm going to assume that Sarah's salary is 100 rupees. ठीक है? Out of this 100 rupees, she keeps 25%, that is 25 rupees as petty cash. ठीक है? She divides the remaining salary. Remaining कितना हो गया? 75 है ना? So remaining is 75. So she divides the 75 into two parts. One is expenditure and another is investment. So expenditure and investment. And it's in the ratio 2:1. 2 and 1, sum is 3. We see 75, 25 times. So 2 into 25 is 50, 1 into 25 is 25. 50 and 25 का sum 75 होता है और ये 2:1 के ratio में भी है. Now, she makes two types of investment. One is PPF and another is MF. They are in the ratio 3:2. Now 3 plus 2 is 5, but we see 25. So 5 times. So PPF में 15 rupees और MF में 10 rupees. So if our monthly salary is 100, this is what we get. Now the question is, if the sum she keeps as petty cash is 5400 than what she invests in IMF. So कितना invest कर रही है? कितना ज़्यादा? As per the language, it's given, no? Petty cash investment is something more than IMF. So let's ignore that 5400. इधर check करते हैं कितना times है. So can we say this is 24 more? But it is given as 5400 more. How many times is this? जितना times ये आएगा उतना times सब होगा. Is it 20 times? Yes. 20 times में 4800 हो गया. You need another 600. So how many times is that? Not 30. Say, देखो गाइस, आपको 54 पहुंचना है. 00 मैं बता रहा हूं, किसी भी नंबर के लास्ट में 00 कंसर्न नहीं होता. 00 आप बाद में लगा देना, आप ये इग्नोर करो. So 24 का डबल तो 48 होता है. I need to reach to 54. 54 means another 6. So 24 का 0.5 times, I believe 0.5 मतलब 1.5 नहीं, sorry, 0.25. 24 का 1/4, as in 0.25 is going to be 6, right? So can we say 54 is 48 plus 6? 48 is 24 into 2, 6 is 24 into 0.25. So this will be 24 into 2.25. So if the change or the difference between petty cash and IMF, that difference is 2.25 times. That means everything should be 2.25 times. तो सारा का मंथली सैलरी में मेरे को आइडिया लग गया कि यहाँ पर एक ना गड़बड़ हो रखा है. It's not 54, it's 24. टाइप करने में ना 2 and 5 ऊपर नीचे. So this will make, क्योंकि ऑप्शन अभी मैच नहीं करना. 2.25 times into 100 doesn't even exist here. ऑप्शन में 225 नहीं है ना. हाँ, अब कर सकते हैं. 24 मोर दिख रहा है हमें, इधर 2400 गिवन है. सो हाउ मेनी टाइम्स इज दैट? ये भी ऑप्शन में नहीं दिखेगा. Which one are they asking us? काम करता हूं, ऑप्शन ठीक कर लेता हूं. 2.25 टाइम्स आया था. This was 24 to 5400. Sorry, 24 into 2.25 is 54. If we want 5400, it will become 225 times. That means everything is going to be 225 times. Her salary will become 225 times. The petty cash with her will become 225 times. The expenses is going to become 225 times. Her PPF will become 225 times. सब चीज उतने ही टाइम्स हो जाएगा. तो अभी सैलरी पूछ रहे ना, तो मंथली सैलरी इज गोइंग टू बी 225 into 100, which is 22500. So option should have, one of the options should have been 22500. अच्छा, सॉरी, मैंने 10 ले लिया ना. 24 नहीं होगा, 15 होगा. आई एम सॉरी, 25 minus 1 कर दिया. सिली मिस्टेक. 15 मोर. 15 का कितना टाइम्स होता है 5400? 15 into what is 54? So 15 into 3 45 होता है. 15 into 4 तो नहीं होगा. Can I say 3 point something? So 3 point something means this should be 3 point something. तो 100 into point ignore कर देते हैं because we do have two zeros, no? It will take care of that point. So 15 into 300 times is going to give us 5400, right? So 100 into 300 times will be, which option do you think should make sense? Sorry guys, मैंने ध्यान नहीं दिया. हाँ 15 होगा. मेरे को चैट चेक कर लेना चाहिए था. A, 36,000, right? 3 point something into 100 will be something that starts with 3. Obviously बात है ना, 3 point something into 100 and ये दोनों 0 यानी into 100 will be a number that will start with 3. I don't know how many digits it will have, but 3 से तो शुरू होगा. There is only one option that starts with 3. एक silly mistake और यही होता है हर बड़ी में. Next one. Abhishek and Rakhi started a business with an investment of rupees 75,000 and 50,000 respectively. X months before the end of the year, Chetan joined them with an investment of rupees 1,100,000. If the profit is distributed among R, C and A at the end of the year in the ratio 2:3, then find the value of X. Sure, Vivek, I'll do that once I'm done with this. Once we are done with this, I'll go back to the question number 9 and solve again. So, like we have seen before, investment into duration will give you profit. Not exactly equal to, it's proportional to. So, we have 3 people, right? We have got Abhishek, Rakhi and Chetan. What amount did they put in? 75, 50 and 100. ठीक है, 3 0 हटा दो सब में से, because we are going to deal with ratios, no? So the actual values don't matter. 75, 50 and 100. Now let's simplify this further. They are all divisible by 25. So Abhishek has put in 3 rupees, Rakhi has put in 2 rupees and Chetan has put in 4 rupees. Right? Since they started, okay, A and R, they started together. Chetan joined later. So what is the final profit ratio that is given to us? The final profit ratio is given to us is Rakhi ka 2 hai, Chetan is also 2 and Abhishek is 3. Right? So 3 into what will give us 3? 1. तो अपन इसको 1 year मानेंगे because Abhishek and Rakhi, they were there for the entire year, right? Rakhi, 2 into what will be 2? 1. So 1 year. 4 into what will be 2? Half. So half a year. So can I say Abhishek and Rakhi, they were there, I mean they invested their amount for the entire year individually, and Chetan invested only for half a year, that is 6 months. So Chetan, if he invested only for 6 months, so X months before the end of the year, it means he invested for 6 months, so 6 months will become the answer. That will be the value of X. A कैसे आ रहा है? How are you guys getting A? 2, 2, 3, these are the ratio of Rakhi, Chetan and Abhishek's profit. This is in a random order as compared to what we have written. Rakhi का 2 है, Chetan का 2 है और Abhishek का 3 है. So Abhishek is 3, Rakhi 2, Chetan 2. 3 into 1 year, 2 into 1 year, 4 into half will give you 2, no? That's what you need to multiply and check. Half a year मतलब 6 months के लिए था, means joined 6 months later or joined only for 6 months. If you read the language, X here denotes for how long Chetan was there. Chetan was there for only 6 months. Right? How come you guys are getting 4 as in A option? You guys thought 3 into 1, 2 into 1, 4 into 1. 4 into 1, 4 होता है, 2 थोड़ी होता है. Right? Yep, back to the previous question, Vivek. I assume Sarah's salary to be rupees 100. Out of these 100 rupees, she keeps 25 rupees as cash. It is given. And then the remaining money is rupees 75. She divides into 2 parts. One is expenditure and another is investment. Expenditure and investment, they are in the ratio 2:1. That means you need to divide 75 in the ratio 2:1. This will end up in 50 and 25. Then she makes only 2 types of investment. So you need to go to investment and she is going to do it in 2 parts. One is PPF and another is MF. It should be IMF, not MF. Okay. This is in the ratio 3:2. So you need to divide 25 in the ratio 3:2. So you will have 15 here and you will have 10 here. Now, if you read the question, it is given that petty cash is more than, don't read this. Petty cash is more than IMF. So petty cash is more than IMF. How much more is this? 25 minus 10, 15 more. With the values that we assumed and solved, can I say petty cash is 15 rupees more than IMF? But then what we do is we go and check how much it actually is. So 15 into 3 is 45. We need a 54. 15 into 3 is 45. See, 15 into 3 is 45. 15 into 4 is 60. But if I need a 54, a value between 45 and 60, can I say it's going to be 15 into 3 point something? 3 से ज़्यादा 4 से कम होना चाहिए. It should be more than 3, less than 4. Definitely, right? So can I say this is going to be 3 point something into 00 will be 300s में होगा. 310, 317, 320, 342, we have no idea. But pretty sure it will be in 300s. Since this number, the petty cash and IMF difference, this relation is 300 times, that means everything becomes 300 times. Her salary becomes 300 times, her expenses becomes 300 times, her investment overall becomes 300 times. Question asked is Sarah's monthly salary. So we will only do this 300 times. So 300 some number into 100 will be a number that starts with 3. I hope that is not an issue. Simple maths. So there is only one option that starts with 3. Okay. Chalo, good. Next question. The charges for using a public phone are partially fixed and partially variable with the number of hours for which it is used. The charges are rupees 900 for 4 hours and rupees 1200 for 6 hours. Find the charges for 10 hours. So, can we solve this without using equation, without deriving any formula? Can we? So, देखो भाई, you are going to have some fixed charge plus some charge because you used it for 4 hours and this is 900 rupees. You are again going to have some fixed charge plus some money because you used for 6 hours and that is going to be 1200 rupees. Right? That's what the question says. ये increase क्यों हुआ है? This increase of 300, why did this happen? ये 300 क्यों बढ़ा? Did the fixed charge went up? I mean, did the fixed charge go up? No, it did not. So what did go up? The duration for which the variable thing was, I mean, the number of hours for which the public phone was used, right? तो कितने hours से बढ़ गया? 2 hours. Think about this. Can I say because of these 2 extra hours, I will have to pay these 300 extra rupees? For 2 hours, if I am paid 300 rupees, then what do you think for 4 hours, how much I would have paid? 600? What do you think the fixed charge is? Obviously 300. Let's verify this. Fixed charge is 300. For every 2 hours, you are charged 300. So for 6 hours, that is 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, it will be 333. This is going to be 900. So 300 plus 900 is 1200. 600 में 300 add करोगे 900. Everything makes sense. Now, if you are going to be using it for 10 hours, so you are going to have a fixed charge of 300 for sure. And variable कितना हो जाएगा? For 2 hours, it is 300. है ना? So for 10 hours, how much is that going to be? 1500? 5 times? So what will be for 10 hours total charge? 1800. Okay. Now this is a very typical real life example. When you book an auditorium, or let's say a hotel, for certain number of people, those guys at the auditorium or the hotel ones, they're going to charge you a fixed amount for the auditorium or the hall, and then per plate, they're going to charge, or per person, they're going to charge extra. So that's exactly what is happening here. Okay. Next question. Looks a little lengthy. Try this. Right, it's going to be B. A glass slab is brought from a home decor shop. The cost of the glass slab varies directly with the square of its weight. The glass slab broke into 3 parts whose weights are in the ratio 3, 5 and 7, leading to a loss. If the glass slab had broken into 3 equal parts of weight, then it would have led to a further loss of rupees 2000. What is the actual cost of the original glass? Okay? So, since we don't know the actual weight, we are going to assume that the total weight is this 3 plus 5 plus 7. Kitna ho gaya ye? 15. So we will say that the weight of the glass slab is 15, where this gets broken down into 3, 5 and 7. What will be the cost just because it gets broken down? It is given the cost of the glass slab is equal to, varies directly, is same as equal to, you can assume it, square of its weight. So jiska 3 hai, what will be the weight of that? 9. The slab part which is 5, what will be the weight? What will be the weight is 5, so what will be the cost of that? 25. Or 7 wale ka cost kitna hoga? So what is the total cost here? Total cost is going to be 49 plus 9 plus 25, which I think is 75 plus 8. 63, right? Okay. Now it is given that if the glass slab had broken into 3 equal parts, so the same 15 ka weight wala glass slab, if it was broken into 3 equal parts, 3 equal parts means 5, 5, 5, then in this case, what would have been the cost? For this 5, the cost would have been 25. For the next 5, the cost would have been 25. For the next one, the cost would have been 25. The total cost would have been 75. Now, the question says there is a loss. Now, forget about this 2000 right now. Loss hai na? See, initially 15 ka square is a lot. From that much money that invested, the price went to 63. 63 say it further, sorry, not 63, it's, what am I doing? This is 83, no? From 225, it went down to 83, and from 83, it went down to 75. So there is a loss. Kitna loss hai 83 to 75? So can we say this is a loss of 8 rupees? Hai na? But now if we compare कि ये क्या ये loss given जो 8 rupees आ रहा है, is it exactly 8? No, it's given as 2000. So how many times of 8 is 2000? How many times is that? 250 times? If this is 250 times, that means everything is 250 times. सब कुछ 250 times. Question is, what was the actual cost of the original glass? Well, the original glass would have cost us 15 square, which is 225. So, iska bhi 250 times. 225 into 250. What do you guys think it will result in? 15 into 15 into 250. 5 into 3 into 5 into 3 into 250. 25 into 25, 625 into 9, and don't forget that 0 at the end. What is 625 into 9? Which of the given options? Of course, C and D to nahi ho raha hai. 625 into 9 is not going to be 625 or 485. 485 is way low. So don't multiply the entire thing. 9 into 6 कितना होता है? 54. So 9 into 6 से ज़्यादा will be more than 54. This is 52. And as usual, we don't trust none of the above. Option A will make sense. Agreed? The initial weight is 15. How do I know it's 15? Because the ratio is given. From here I can add them. देखो 15 ही 357 में break होगा ना? The smallest number 15. Or you can take 150 also, but बड़े number क्यों लेना है? So take the smallest number, which is 15. Only 15 can break down in 3, 5 and 7 because 3 plus 5 plus 7 is 15. So if 15 was the total weight, its price was 15 square. How do I know it was 15 square? Second statement tells us कि square करो. स्क्वायर करो, जो भी वेट होगा उसको स्क्वायर करो, पैसा मिल जाएगा उसका. एज इन व्हाट कॉस्ट, व्हाट इज द कॉस्ट ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर पार्ट. सो 15 का कॉस्ट 225. व्हेन इट ब्रोक डाउन एज 357, द कॉस्ट टर्न आउट टू बी 925.49, ओवरऑल 83. देन इट सेज इनटू 3 इक्वल पार्ट्स में अगर ब्रेक किया, सो दैट 15 इफ इट ब्रेक्स डाउन इनटू 555, द कॉस्ट इंडिविजुअली विल बिकम 25 and the overall will become 75. There is a fall in the price. Not original से, ये जो भी break हुआ है और अगर break होता. So that decrease in the price is 8. But it is given to us as 2000. So how many times is that? उतना ही times हर चीज हो जाएगा. तो सबको मत करो solve. Only solve that part which is asked. The thing that is asked is what is the actual cost of the original glass? Well, the original glass cost us 225. So we need 225 into 250. 225 into 250, if you are good with it, you can go ahead and solve it. Otherwise, what I did was I broke down 15 into 2 smaller parts, 15 into 2 smaller parts, and then took 5s only because I know 25 into 25 is 625. Then I took 3 and 3, 9, and then a 10. Now I am too lazy or too shy to do 9 into 625. So I am doing 9 into 6. 9 into 6 54 होता है. तो 9 into 6 से ज़्यादा 54 से ज़्यादा होगा. This is 52. This is 54 से ज़्यादा. Look at only the initial digits, right? Got it? Everyone, please make sure that you like. I'll just look into it. Please like. There are so many people online right now, but likes नहीं आ रहे. और क्या likes के लिए करते हम, right? कोई आपको और कुछ नहीं चाहिए. Like and subscribe. That's all we need. So a new batch for CAT 2023, the comprehensive program as we call it, has just begun. There has only been an introductory session for that. We haven't even started speed maths or anything. We have just understood only one of the topics, that also. Only LRDI ka ek section. As to what was previous year pattern, how many questions were asked, what were the cutoffs, everything we have discussed in each of the exams, CAT, ZAT, IFT, SNAP. So if anyone is interested, you can join our comprehensive program. In this program, we provide you with tablet. We provide you with more than 200 hours of live classroom sessions. We provide you with more than 75 mock tests, including CAT as well as other MBA entrances. We provide you with more than 10,000 questions to practice. You will be given more than 300 videos as recorded lectures. You will be provided with 4 hard copy books of each of the sections with more than 5 years of previous year questions available. And we will also help you with your GDPI and VAT preparation. So we won't leave you midway right after the results are out. We'll make sure that we see you go through. And for that particular batch, if you want to obtain a scholarship, then please do write the scholarship test, which is scheduled to happen on 18th March at 7 p.m. People who are not, people who are not going to write, who are not willing to join the batch right now, you can still write the scholarship test. It's going to be valid. And also, it's going to help you with your MAHCET preparation or other entrance tests that you're going to write. Right? So make sure that you register for this. The seats are limited. It's not like कि हर कोई लिखेगा, हर किसी को scholarship मिलेगा. नहीं. Scholarship, number of scholarships and the amount is fixed. The sooner it gets over, that's when the scholarship test will stop. Okay. On 11th of March at 7 p.m, Mr. Srinivas is going to take a session on how to ace CAT 2023. He is going to discuss about how to devise a test taking strategy, which is very different from your exams that you write in your college or you have written during your school days. So the competitive exam test taking is very different. Okay. And 6th March onwards, every day we have this 100 most expected MAHCET questions. I hope you guys are attending those. So it's going to be taken by Mr. Cyril. So make sure that you join this session every day. Thank you for joining. The exam is most probably going to be postponed by at least 1 week. So अभी आप notification का wait करो, proper official notification का. ठीक है, अभी तक कुछ concrete है नहीं. Don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel. If you haven't, please do it. You can follow us on our Instagram page, which is BYJU'S exam prep, BYJU'S_exam prep_MBA. You can like our Facebook page as well, which is BYJU'S exam prep MBA. You can join our Telegram channel, which is BYJU'S exam prep for MBA. And you can download our app from Google Play for free and watch hundreds and hundreds of hours of videos, all for free. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. Do you guys have any question? Thank you, Vivek. Shubham, very simple ones. Generally नहीं आते हैं, but बहुत simple आते हैं. ठीक है? As in functions will not be a direct kind of functions, even odd वाला type नहीं आता है. What they may 1 1 1 2 many वो सब नहीं आता है. A function which will be actually a series based question in disguise. ठीक है? चलो. Thank you, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.